Good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to the Global Business Talk Show. It's always a pleasure to talk to the community about what's going on in Broward County, in your city. And today we're going to take a quick hop in Lauderhill. I have with me today Mayor Ken Thurston. He has been a resident of Lauderhill since 1944, and I think we met in 2009, just before his first election in 2010. Thank you. Welcome. Bienvenidos. Bienvenue. Mayor Thurston, how are you?
I am well. Thank you so much for having me on your program today.
I am delighted, and it's long overdue because you have been a friend to the Haitian community. You have been a friend of mine a long time, and I would say for a long time too. Tell us a little about your upbringing in Pompano Beach, where you were born.
Well, thank you so much. I was born in Pompano in 1950. My grandfather and my father were born on Cat Island in the Bahamas.
Mhm.
And I grew up in a little section of Pompano where all of the Bahamian immigrants came and seemed to stay. So my bring up see is based upon living in a area with a lot of Bahamian immigrants. I
Mhm.
went to Blanche Ely High School, graduating in 1962 and what 68 rather. And what was interesting about that is Blanche Ely was still alive, and she was principal of the school
Mm.
when I attended there. So
Wow.
the primary industry was farming. We grow winter vegetables. We would truck them to the Pompano State Farmers Market on Martin Luther King Boulevard, which back then was called Hammondville Road. And the vegetables would be shipped north to New York, New Jersey, and Canada. And my father was a farmer, and he also raised hogs. And I had to do all the work that he told me to do. And let me tell you, it was a lot. He owned 5 acres off of Powerline Road and Copens, uh, which
Wow.
which is now a warehouse district. And he owned that land. I remember coming home from college in 1970 and was told that my parents had sold the land.
Oh my God.
So we'd be very wealthy if we had held on to it. But that's part of my bring up, see, in Pompano Beach, Florida.
Well, I always consider you a honorary Haitian because if your grandparents were from the Bahamas, and I know a lot of Haitians went to the Bahamas, and I'm very surprised that you don't speak Creole. Those several times when Haiti has problem, I called up on you for you to help, and you're always so gracious to help us. Now, no one thinks of Pompano as a farming city, but you went off to college and you study economics. Why didn't you become, I don't know, a big farmer, a big engineer?
No, I think maybe initially when I started in college, I thought about becoming an attorney.
Mm.
And I did a deep dive into what attorneys made. And there are a few who do really well, but the vast majority of attorneys struggle. So
Mm.
I said that I was going into business. And for that reason, I majored in economics. And as soon as I graduated from college, I went to work um, with a local minister in the property management business.
Mm.
And in some form or fashion, for the last 50 years, I've done some type of real estate, property management, or real estate sales, and or mortgages. And I have enjoyed it because I've been able to help people. And it's not always about earning a big commission. It's the gratitude of helping a family get a home when they didn't think that they would ever own their own piece of real estate.
Wow. Interesting. So you are also a certified property manager. Can you imagine what your grandparent would have felt if they had left those acres and for you to be able to have a nice development down in Pompano Beach?
That would have been something, but let me tell you, I am uh, very proud of my grandfather and my father for making the decision to try something different.
Hmm.
Um, in the Bahamas, many of the men would dive for sponges, and those sponges were used for bathing. So people didn't use washcloth; they used a sponge,
Okay.
and then there was a sponge blight about 1915 or so, and there were no jobs in the Bahamas for divers for sponges. So
Mm.
it was at that point they made the decision to come to Florida and ended up in Pompano Beach and spent a lot of time farming. My mother made it to ninth grade. My father made it to sixth grade. So I know that they were very proud of me because I finished high school, and even more so, I went on to college, got a couple of licenses, a real estate license, a property management designation, and I opened my own business.
Yeah.
And I've operated my own business now for 50 years.
50 years, indeed. So we're moving forward from your college years, and since I've known you for 12 years plus now, tell us a little. Why did you shift from business, real estate, to become a commissioner then in Lauderhill?
I have always lived by the rule that you owe something to the community from which you get your living. If you're making a living in the community, you need to give back. So, from the very beginning of my professional career back in 1972, I was always active in the community. I was active with the NAACP and became the vice president of the NAACP back when the president was Richard Kurtz of Kurtz
Mm.
Funeral Home. And that was in the 70s. I was a member of the LA Lee Branch YMCA and became the president of the YMCA. There was the Northwest Businessmen's Association, and I was one of the founders of it. And it went on to start the Sistrunk Historical Festival and the Sistrunk Parade, which is extremely popular today.
Yes.
But if because of my involvement, and then when I opened my business along Oakland Park Boulevard, I became a member of the Lauderhill Chamber of Commerce. I was
Also a president.
also president of the Lauderhill Chamber. Yes, yes. And there was the um, Housing Authority of Lauderhill, which was formed maybe 15, 16 years ago. Part of what we wanted to do was to be able to control the Section 8 vouchers that were in the city. We've got thousands of vouchers in our city, and we have no control over them. And the regulations do state that when the voucher period ends, the voucher should port over to the local housing authority. So we became a housing authority. I'm talking about the city of Lauderhill, or would it be Lauderhill Housing Authority, should be controlling those vouchers. And but HUD said no, and we fought for a decade trying to get them to change their mind, and unfortunately were never able to do it.
Mm.
So my involvement with the housing authority, my involvement with the Chamber of Commerce just led me to the point that I saw that it was an elected governmental official position is where the decisions got made.
Yes.
And I wanted to be where the decisions were made and have some input into which direction the city would go into, and that's why I made the decision to run for office.
And you've been in office for 12 years now. So you're running again this year. As a very active person, you are also part of the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce. By the way, I need to let the folks know. What are some of the initiatives that I know that you are most proud? And I am gonna be very humble asking you that because you are a very, very, very active mayor. Whether it's jazz, whether it's the move, you keep on moving, and I really, really love that about you. But of all those initiatives, which initiative do you feel is closer to your heart?
Well, I think there are several. It's hard to
I
say
know.
that there's one in particular. I have worked closely with all of the schools in the city of Lauderhill,
Hmm.
and once a year, the faculty picks a teacher of the year.
Hmm.
That teacher of the year gets a little bit of honor at the Caliber Awards, which is something that the school board does. And they bring in the teachers of the year, and there's so many there that the teachers don't get the recognition
Hmm.
that they deserve. So I decided to start a teacher appreciation program, and once a year, we would bring in the teachers from all the teacher of the year from each of the schools in the city of Lauderhill or schools that served a large number of Lauderhill students.
Okay.
And we would get together, we'd give them a breakfast. We call it the Teacher Appreciation Breakfast. And it was done at the LPAC, Lauderhill Performing Arts Center. And we would do it at the big program that the school district had. The teacher didn't get a chance to say anything, nor did the principal. But at our
Wow.
program, we would allow the principal to introduce the student, I'm sorry, introduce the teacher and explain why this teacher was selected as teacher of the year. And we would give gifts to the teacher of the year. And last year we were up to $600 per teacher, and
Wow.
and it has become a competition at the schools.
Hmm.
The teachers want to be teacher of the year so they can get the gifts and that come from the teacher appreciation event. So it's a way of thanking the teachers. It motivates them because they want to be, the other teachers want to be teacher of the year because they like the goodies that come with it. So
Yes.
that is a program that I am proud of. Um, but also, there are other programs that I have initiated that when we look at our community, we've got a very high number of people who suffer from diabetes,
Hmm.
hypertension. We've got a lot of smokers, more smokers percentage wise. Uh,
Really?
yes, more smokers are in our zip codes than other zip codes. And
Mm.
I'd like to push people to be healthier. So I adopted the program, which is run by the National League of Cities, called Move with the Mayor. And
Hmm.
I have gotten trainers that go to um, various parks in the city, and we allow the residents to come and work out with a professional trainer. And the fee is zero; it's absolutely free. So, and I've got a lot of people who've been able to get into shape with the Move with the Mayor program, helping people to become healthy.
Well, Mayor, though I live in your city, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little lazy to come and move with you, but I must tell you, as a business owner, one of the programs that I loved a lot that you initiated is the Grant Writing 101 Beginners that many of our members had the opportunity to benefit from because we started the chamber in Lauderhill back 10 years ago, and we always are very appreciative of your support. But the second program, the second initiative, which I thought you would have touched on, would have been the Green Series. Because I remember the first time when you started the Green Series, and they used to give people those big tanks where they could have a garden within their patio. And I thought it was just such a genius thing. As a cancer survivor, one of the things that I love doing is gardening. And I was wondering, being from a farmer's city, how do you feel about the Green Series?
I love the Green Series. I think that it was a way of people to connect. We still do it at least 4 times per year. We get a master gardener
Mhm.
to come and do a talk on some aspect of gardening. And we teach people how to grow in small spaces. So maybe you're in an apartment, but you've got a balcony, you've got window sills, and you can grow on that balcony. You can put things in pots and buckets and grow. And the Green Series is something that's near and dear to my heart. And now that I've moved into a smaller place, I keep trying to garden, but I don't seem to find the time to once I planted the item to really nurture it and grow it. But the garden series is something else that I'm very proud of that I was able to bring to the community. And we had 5 sessions of gardening this year in 2022, and we'll do it again next year.
Despite of COVID.
And with people came there with their mask on, and we talk about plants and growing things. So yeah, they did come. The crowd, the number of people there was not as large as it had been pre-COVID, though.
Hmm. Yeah, Thurston. The reason why I love the Green Series is because I think it started before the move with the mayor,
Oh
and I
yes.
felt like Lauderhill is really green, and we started having farmers market. So it was amazing for me to have you initiate this series many months ago. Now, are you still part of the Lauderhill Affordable Housing Board?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Yes, the regulations change. Every city that gets state dollars for housing programs, and the two most common housing programs are SHIP and HOME.
mhm.
One program provides dollars from the state to help families fix up their homes,
Mhm.
um, and and the other provides additional dollars for home purchasing. If you
Okay.
have those programs in your city, and we do, the state mandates an affordable housing committee. The affordable housing committee must have an elected official as a part. And in the Affordable Housing Committee, we are discussing ways to increase the number of affordable housing units throughout the city. And we talk about things that we can do, changes that we can recommend to the city commission that will help more people be in a position to get housing that they can afford.
Because I know that homelessness is a problem in Broward County, but I'm sure your city and with your initiative, it's less in Lauderhill than any other cities.
Well, there is a lot of need in our community, and when the economy takes a downturn, and
Hmm.
as we experienced during COVID, the amount of homelessness increased. So there is a nutrition center in Lauderhill.
Mhm.
Life Net for Families is the name of it, and they offer a food subsidy to families that are food insecure,
Mhm.
and we work hard to try to find ways of increasing affordable housing. Now, maybe is it smaller lots? Is it allowing people to build a cottage at the rear of their current property, which used to be called a mother-in-law cottage? Um, Maybe it's requiring less parking in the front.
Mhm.
Those are all things that the Affordable Housing Committee discusses and decides whether or not to make the recommendation to the elected body, which is the City Commission, to make changes. And and let me tell you, nothing is rubber stamped. We have very lively discussions at the committee level, and we hope that we're having some influence on the direction that affordable housing goes in. But it's the economy. When the economy goes down, then yes, the amount of homelessness increases in a community.
Yeah, indeed. Mayor Thurston, thank you so much. You are running for re-election in a
Yes.
couple of days. The elections will be over. I just want to tell you that I heard a rumor that you're gonna win the election and then you're gonna pass it on to me. You're gonna appoint me as the next mayor.
Well, I can't think of a more deserving person than you, a person who is in touch with people and sees the needs of the community. But I will tell you that I'm working really hard to get reelected because the city has term limits. I get 2 more years, and I intend to work and serve for the next 2 years. I've got several programs that I would like to finish. I'd like to take them to fruition, and I don't think that they are going to be completed in even 2 years.
Yeah.
So I'm not going anyplace. Once elected, I'm going to serve my full 2 years, and hopefully, the next mayor of the city will be engaged and want to continue the programs that we're working on today.
Well, I intend to support you fully, and I'm committed to have you win this election. And of course, if you win it, what would you pass it on to somebody else? If people need to be mayor, they need to make sure that they go to campaign and win the election in order for them to become mayor. Our support, personally, and with the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce, is 200%. But now, in closing, I know that you've had eye surgery recently. How are you feeling?
Well, it was never any pain. I have not talked about the what happened, but I'll tell you and nobody else.
Okay.
Uh,
What?
in 2006, I had cataract surgery, and whenever they do cataract surgery, they put in a new lens in the eye. It's called an interocular lens. And I woke up Wednesday morning. I guess it would have been about October 20th,
Mhm.
and I could tell something was wrong. So I immediately woke my wife up and says, "We got to go to Baskin Palmer immediately, Baskin Palmer Eye Clinic." And I went there, and they says the lens that we put in 2006 is now displaced. It's not where it was before, and
Mhm.
that's what's causing your vision problem. But
Mhm.
because the lens is in the eye, the only way you can correct it or put it back in place is to operate.
Okay.
So on October 24th, I was at Baskin Palmer for eye surgery. They replaced the lens, and the doctor said it will take a minimum of 2 weeks to heal. So this coming Monday will be 2 weeks. Hopefully, I'll be in good shape after that, but who knows? Maybe it'll take a few days longer. But unfortunately, so I had to change the way that I was campaigning. Had to ask surrogates to step it up, and they've done a tremendous job. And been doing more things by telephone because
Perfect.
I can still talk. It's just my vision is not great until that new lens heals in place, and then I've got to get new glasses because the vision will be different because they put a new lens in. So
Okay.
I've got a few steps to go, but I'm very optimistic about the ability to uh, maintain my vision.
Perfect. Perfect. You've always held a great campaign, several years, many years. We were able to collaborate. I count on you to become the next mayor to be reelected because you've campaigned the whole year. Just this little inconvenience. By Monday, you'll be up and about. On Tuesday, after everybody is done voting, and we reelect you as mayor of the beautiful city of Lauderhill. Before you go on vacation, we'll just go and celebrate.
Well, fantastic. I thank you so much.
That's the plan. Thank you so much, Mayor Thurston, for being with us today. If you have anything that you felt that I haven't touched upon and that you would like to share with your constituent, beside, we tell the Caribbean people that they need to be more active or as active as we are, participate, attend meetings. What else would it be?
Well, I'd like to know, or like the people to know, that we've been working hard to make living in Lauderhill easier. For the last 3 years, we've reduced the millage rate of taxes in the city. And I would look forward to doing that again the next fiscal year. That will keep working hard to reduce the millage so that the burden on families is less. And I know that taxes are a burden because I pay taxes as well. So it is nice when residents, though, are engaged in the city, when they come to city commission meetings and they say their piece. It helps us to be able to uh, determine what direction we ought to be going in and how fast we ought to be traveling.
Indeed. Indeed. Thank you so much, Mayor Ken Thurston, candidate for re-election. We'll see you at the voting poll and at victory party on Tuesday, November 8th.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a real pleasure to chat with you and get caught up on old times.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.